Are you ready for a ride
What's up,
tonight?
everyone? Doing a special go live on Talking with a Dad. Come check us out on YouTube and ETA of about 15 minutes. Peace. What's up?
Are you ready for a
I'm ready for all the smoke. I was gonna tell you should attach the the channel Twitter to your rant on
no,
Twitter.
no, 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 no. I think that's a bad idea. I think
Am I
it's a bad
ready for
idea,
what?
unfortunately.
What? Am I ready for what?
Oh, I was gonna say, are you ready for this fucking how crazy this review or this even not even a review? I'm not even gonna call it a review. I'm gonna call it a discussion of this. Okay, easier moderation. Thanks. Um, yeah, I'm back and forth on this game, man.
What?
That beta actually the beta kind of cleared it up for me a lot actually.
It's funny because when I was reading the vitriol coming your way on the Twitter exchange,
Hilarious.
one guy said, "You're the type of fan." What did you say? Who probably likes a a COD game for a month and then
Mhm.
starts complaining about it. I'm like, ah!
No,
That's a
no, I didn't like Modern Warfare for 3 weeks. I didn't even like it for 3 weeks. I thought it was a bad game.
Oh man! All right, I'm
Horrible.
ready for it. Let me just what is going on, man? I feel like nothing makes sense right now. Sean Hannity's live now. How are we gonna compete with those numbers? You let me know when you hit that go live button, senor.
It's already live. Stream is already.
Oh.
I didn't start recording yet. I told you I was gonna do that.
Yes.
We said it out loud. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do this right now, and you're like, dude, mine
Man,
wasn't even a rant. I said one thing. You know.
you know what? Crazy things happen, bro. You know, right now, Lopez defeated the great
Dude, that
Lomachenko.
was
It
a wait. What
was
did
a
you just call?
beautiful
What'd you
fight.
call him?
Lomachenko.
Not going through.
How do you pronounce
Lomachenko.
Lomachenko?
The first four letters of his name are Loma. Loma.
I had a sneaky suspicion that Lopez was going to beat him, but
Sure.
I didn't give too much voice to it because some people were like, "I don't think you know what you're talking about, Steve." I was like, "That's true." I was like, "Yeah, here's the thing, though. I don't think the kid is just some haymaker fighter. Like he can
Oh
box.
yeah, he could box. He
It's-
legit could box.
it's-
He played it really, really smart. Got on him early, and
You know, you know, you know what he did? That was really smart. It's something that I've always said when I look at a Loma fight, which is, I wonder when someone's gonna hit him in the body, like it stop
see.
headhunting.
Listen,
It
yeah,
stop
no,
heading.
I totally get that. Did that affect him? Do you think?
What, the body shots? For sure.
Because
The power shots.
well, he didn't come on until the eighth or ninth round, right?
Yeah, but he was trying. I think he was trying to let Lopez gas, but Lopez did a good job
Didn't
of just kind of
gas.
staying
Yeah,
composed and
yeah,
picking his shots and not,
very
you
good.
know, and not winging shots at his head. And even though he didn't land a good majority of those counter uppercuts he was trying to sneak in there, it definitely gave Loma something to think about. And let's just be honest, man, Lomachenko is getting up there in age. Like the kid said himself, it was the perfect time to catch him.
Is he?
Boxer
How
age.
old is he?
He's got to be in his 30s, mid 30s or something like that.
32.
Yeah. Boxer years, man. Boxer years, bro. Such a weird sport to watch again. I used to be so deep into it and
I
I
love
got clean.
boxing.
I got clean for about 3 years, got off of it, you know. Really changed my life around.
Dude,
And then
so many is Vasily Lomachenko finished. I think Lomachenko wins a rematch if they do it within the next 6 months. I think a huge issue is that Lomachenko had 18 months off or something.
14 months.
Still, it's over a year, right?
Yeah. He had 2 more months off than the kid. If you want my opinion on it, I don't think he wins the rematch. I think that at this point when someone's got your number, here's the only way he would win a rematch in my thinking.
Like
He would
if
have
he
to
fought
come
in
out.
the 8th round.
Yeah, he would have to come out and blitz him and take the chance of getting hit and countered. And I think he was really taken back that Lopez, one, could box, and two, Lopez is extremely fast. A lot faster than a lot of people suspected. And I don't know how they
dude, all the respect to that kid, man. All the respect.
No, not you. I don't know how I don't understand how analysts didn't see it. I think they were too busy arguing with his dad, which is the problem. Like, I don't know if you know, maybe you caught some of that stuff during, but Lopez Sr. is a bit of a loudmouth, but he has every right to be that way because his kid is amazing.
Very good. I think very good boxer. I enjoyed watching it a lot. It was a very good fight.
It was fun, right? It was fun.
I just wish Lomachenko just, instead of coming out in the 8th round, give me the 6th, right? And then because he could fight at that pace the entire fight. You know, he's done it on multiple occasions, and he just kind of didn't. You know,
he played the game and he lost, and it sucks. It sucks when that happens, when your opponent knows, like, oh, you're gonna try to drag me into deep waters.
Let's do it.
If we're gonna play the point, if we're gonna play the point game, I'm gonna get off early and continuously get off. He actually there was one counter Loma hit him with, I think it was 3rd or 4th round, and I was like, ooh, he can't take too many of those. But Lopez has a chin, and I was surprised he took it because it was a clean counter.
Well, right on the butt. Loma's not he's a fucking overwhelm you guy. He's not a one-hit knockout guy, right? He can. Don't get me wrong. He can. Yeah. But he's an.
It was one of those precision punches. It was one of those precision punches that could have knocked him out, and I was surprised that it didn't. But no, you're absolutely right. He is a volume puncher. It was a great fight, man. I guess the only other thing I would have to say about it is maybe if you're a legend, you should start thinking about who it is you're about to step into that, the ring with. The boxing's different than MMA in this sense.
No, you're right. You're right. I know exactly where you're going. The issue with Lomachenko is he doesn't have that many pro fights.
Neither does the kid. That's the crazy
No, listen, but the kid was 23 or something, right?
Yeah.
23, 24. He's my age. Loma has what?
What's his record?
He's 14-2. He has 16 pro fights.
Oof. What's Lopez's record?
His first pro fight was 7 years ago. Teofimo Lopez, I think he's like 15-0, 13-0, something like that. I don't know. This Wikipedia page isn't loading.
That's crazy, man. To think, like,
he's 16.
Look at their records. Look at their records. I'm sure they have a high. It's got to be more amateur.
He's 23, dude. He has the same amount of fights. Yeah, 14-2 and 16-0. He has the exact same amount of fights that Lomachenko has, and Lomachenko is 9 years older.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. That other kid out of Brooklyn is a monster. I forget his name. He was on the undercard, and
I didn't watch the undercard.
I mean, he was on the main card, but he was like the second fight on the main card.
Which is essentially an undercard for boxing.
No, main card. he was the main card.
Boxing is the weird thing, right? Where, like, if you give me a UFC card, I want to watch the entire card. If you give me a boxing card, I'm like, what's a boxing card? I want a main event, and that's it.
Yeah, no one ever. But you should watch the at least on the main card, the 2 fights before, because it's always with killers. I forget the kid's name. I sent Pat the text. This dude, I believe, is 15-0 now. All first round finishes, all knockouts.
Really?
Like either knockouts or TKOs, and he got in trouble with his coach. I thought it was pretty hilarious because I guess they worked on a bunch of stuff and they wanted him to get some rounds.
And he just finished in the first.
Like, so when he wins, the coach has him does push-ups. Like,
really?
He was like, drop.
Brutal.
He's like, drop. Give him to me right now. And the kid rolls his eyes and he drops down and gives him like 10.
That's funny.
Yeah.
With the gloves on?
With the gloves on. The only way to do push-ups, in my opinion.
I agree.
None of this communist propaganda.
Vasily Lomachenko's nickname is High Tech.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And
know,
people,
they literally in the ring was like, Vasily Lomachenko.
Lomachenko has the same thing that's happened to him, like Anderson Silva. People start saying stupid things to describe his fighting style. Like,
no, his fighting style is just slick, right? That's really all it is. It's just
when they start using matrix terms, like he's just down low. I'm like, what the?
That's stupid. Hold on. The download thing, I do agree from Floyd Mayweather. Because Floyd Mayweather notoriously loses the first 3-4 rounds and then comes out and wins the rest of the fight.
On average, I believe he has lost later rounds.
Oh, really?
Later rounds, yeah, especially against volume punchers like Oscar De La Hoya and guys that are like, I'm just gonna hold him against the ropes and hit his arm.
Yeah, hit his arm and his shoulder. Fuck, this is annoying.
Die.
It's like, ow, fuck, ow, ooh, ooh.
You know what? I was thinking in my head, I was like, we should do a boxing episode, but then I was like, I'm good. My life has been much better since I've been off of boxing. Yeah. I'm a much different person now since I've stopped watching boxing. Hands down. Much better person.
We watch the big fights, right?
Only if I feel like it's good for my psyche.
We talked about the Tyson Fury versus
Yeah.
Not Joshua, the other guy. That guy that he fought in between and took as like a dude fucking hit him with a left and cut his eye.
Yeah, it cut his eye open. We talked about that fight. It was the fight after the Wilder fight.
Yes.
Almost immediately after.
Otto Wallen, maybe?
Poor guy.
He hit him fucking hard.
Dude, you know the crazy thing was that kid kept trying to thumb that cut. Remember during the fight? He kept putting his glove in it.
Maybe it's Tom Schwarz or Otto Wallen, one of the two.
Uchiwala.
Because he fought Deontay Wilder and then fought twice. And then fought Wilder again. He's active. Holy shit. For a boxer, that's crazy active.
I don't know what Tyson Fury's doing right now. He's probably eating a fried Twinkie or something like that, right?
Or driving a Ferrari on cocaine, I assume.
Nah, he's off the stuff. He is, man. He's 100% clean. What proof do you have that he's out there with John Jones right now?
Just the fact that he thought about him with John.
Oh, dude, I should have listened to the techno song before we started going here, because as soon as I said that, I heard that song. He picks John up from the airport. John's not even speaking English. It's like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He has those stupid light up gloves on. Do we even need to have topics for this?
No, I figure I just listened to you rant for an hour.
No. We're not gonna do that. You are gonna ask me questions.
I'll ask you questions, but
give you the good setup for it. Use the bathroom quick and I'll be right back. And then we'll start.
Go for it.
Officially?
Go for it.
You're left alone with the live stream. Be careful.
Finally. Who's in here? Any folks in here? What's up, everybody? Got 3 watching.
What are you doing? You talk to the chat while you were gone?
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. You look like a fucking maniac, bud.
Best song on earth. I don't know why it hasn't won a Grammy yet.
Probably because it's a decade old or more.
Should have won when it came out.
You're right.
Super Troopers should have won an Academy Award, by the way.
I agree. 100% agree. Well, I mean, why wouldn't you agree? If you don't agree,
you're a Nazi.
Oh, okay.
I just finished The Boys season 2. Amazing.
Really?
Yeah,
I haven't watched any more episodes.
I gotta be honest with you, man. Even though it's a predictable ride, I'm glad they changed some stuff in the comic books, but I was having a good time watching. Because it's just like, how can you not like Homelander? Who doesn't want a guy like that in their life? Someone to just completely make you give up your moral principles and standings in reality, right? It's pretty much, what would you be like if you were a superhero? What would you do all day long?
Man, save people.
Yeah, you would. Save people from living.
Save people. Save people. I'd go around fucking, catching trains as they're falling off of bridges and shit.
You mean you would just show up right after the train fell? You're like, has it been here this whole time? I'm out.
Wait a second. Was this what I was coming here for? I took a detour to go to Wendy's, and fuck, man. You guys couldn't have waited 5 minutes? The drive-thru was
so
long.
Freaking inconsiderate. My numbers are down low. Dude, shit, take off.
Gotta go.
I'm out of here. I'm just checking to see if anyone is. Oh, that would make sense. There we go.
What happened? What'd you do?
No, nothing. I didn't do anything.
What didn't you do?
No, that's a better question.
You didn't post a thing.
Huh?
What?
What did you just say to me?
You didn't post a thing.
I hope that the Sony engineering team finally catches up with you and makes you pay for every horror word that's come out of your mouth.
The Sony engineering team?
Yeah.
It's going to be a while. Pretty probably can outrun those guys. I'd be even worse, dude.
We're looking for Zach Sneeden. They're all on me.
There's a guy actually walking that way 15 minutes ago. They're like,
oh, no.
A new Tarkov patch came out today. Very exciting.
How did that go?
I didn't
play.
Played WoW.
You played WoW all day?
Yep. That's it. That's why I asked you if you were legitimately serious about playing.
I am, man. I'm as serious about that as I am making you into a Street Fighter killing machine.
I just don't think
I don't have to make you excellent. I just got to make you better than average, right? That's all you got to be. Because then if you're better than average, you can beat excellent players every once in a while. And that's what it's all about. It's all about gloating. It's about beating that guy in front of all his friends and going, "But you said I wasn't going to get a win." And then you get the doubt in his head.
I don't have friends who play this garbage.
Huh?
I don't have
garbage.
I don't have friends who play Street Fighter other than you.
Oh man, come on. There are people out there. I wish we can go to an old school arcade. That would be great. But now they're probably full of like weirdos. Like I couldn't even imagine what an arcade would be like today.
I don't want to imagine it, honestly.
Bunch of emo kids in there.
All right, you ready to do this?
You count it down, Chief.
3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 67 of the Talking with a Dad podcast. This evening, we're doing a deep dive. Right, Stevie?
Deep.
Oh, that's it? I thought you were going somewhere with it. Yeah, we're doing a deep dive into the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I don't even want to call it a beta. It's a shit show, if you ask me.
How's your Twitter time been recently, Zach?
Oh, just fine. Just fine.
Anything exciting happened to you on Twitter recently?
Well, I mean, I chirped at that wannabe COD Pro player, and
wait, give me some backstory. Who did you chirp at? What's the person's name? And what makes it was
Censor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you have no idea who Censor is.
No, I have no idea.
Censor is a former Call of Duty pro who's been a top amateur for the last 7 years or whatever. He's been trying to get back into the pro scene, was picked up by the Subliners previous in this last CDL season, sat on the bench, didn't play. Pretty much the story of his career over the last number of years, 4 or 5 years potentially. Listen, he was good at one point. He was definitely a very good player at one point. Won a championship, I believe, in some facet. But just I don't know how like life moved. I don't know how Call of Duty moved away from him so much. But he's a very good player, very good. But every year does the same thing. This COD's gonna be the best game I've ever played. This and that, and then yeah, I don't know where he stands on Modern Warfare currently, but he did the same thing with Modern Warfare. Did the same thing with Black Ops 4. Like, yeah, did all the same stuff. And I just tweeted, this is going to age like milk. Right? And I'm like, nah, this is not fucking... No. This is not going to be good. And so I got flamed, so...
Now, what is your definition of flame? Because this is definitely different than mine. Flamed is like when someone from my era means that someone has ripped you so well publicly that there is no recovering from it. You might need to take
no, flamed is just when people are coming at you.
Oh, okay. So that's what I would call bantering. Like people just like
bantering is what we do.
No, we do more of a good back and forth, more than less than a banter. I would say we have a good shuck and jive going at the very least.
We're getting too technical at this point. So yeah, I mean, legitimately, like, listen, you can't play a COD in a beta for a weekend and be like, this is the best Call of Duty ever. No. That's not how this works, right? It's just a silly fucking opinion. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. And then people just started coming at me for no reason. Like, for no fucking reason. So whatever. I got some traction out of it. Don't care.
Yeah, there you go.
It was fun.
The way you respond to all that stuff is just keep going. Erroneous. That was conjecture, sir. That's all.
No, I mean, the guy was like, it's 100% not gonna age like milk, and I'm like, I'm saving this shit. I'll see you in 6 months, bitch. I didn't say bitch though. That's what it was heavily implied though. And the guy's like, you're the type of person to hate every single COD after a month or two, and I'm like, oh yeah, you can tell that from one tweet. Very good. And then he stopped responding to me.
Gotta get that expert level troll in there. Yeah, I went through it. It was a good feat. I have not seen that type of reaction to a tweet since I tweeted at a few people regarding some other subjects.
I got one for you. Just say that Nirvana is the Nickelback of the 90s.
Ooh,
people I did that in a Twitch chat one time and got flamed. This shit was hilarious. Dude, people were like, what the fuck is wrong with you? The fuck is wrong with you?
Here's something that people might want to forget, right? So that whole Seattle scene, I'm going to take you down a little trip down memory lane here.
Okay.
I could name 2 bands that did not speak highly of Nirvana, and they're like 2 staples. It was Stone
Temple Pilots.
No, not Stone Temple. It was Pearl Jam and
Stone Temple Pilots. Those are the only other 2 giant grunge bands.
No, that's wrong. But I will get back to it.
Okay, sorry. What else do you want? You want Red Hot Chili Peppers on top of that?
No, they're not grunge.
That's what I was saying. No. They're not grunge.
No, it's Pearl Jam. Soundgarden. Pearl Jam and Soundgarden.
Soundgarden, is that Chris Cornell?
Yeah.
Who did Stone Temple Pilots?
Stone Temple Pilots was what is this?
I'm looking it up right now.
What is that guy's name? Poor guy, he passed
away. Scott Weiland.
Scott Weiland. He was in another band with Slash from Guns N' Roses, Velvet Revolver, which was actually really good. I've never been an Axl Rose fan. I think he's highly overrated, and I'll fight anyone in the streets. If you think that Guns N' Roses is amazing, I think you're just stuck in a place of nostalgia. Really, you're not looking at it objectively.
They have some good songs. They're not amazing. They're not amazing. Good songs, not amazing.
But yeah, I remember there were people at the time that used to give Nirvana within their own scene a lot of trash, man, because they made it big. It was mostly jealousy, but yeah.
Listen, Stone Temple Pilots very big. Pearl Jam obviously enormous.
Soundgarden,
incredible. Not even just legendary, but very, very good. Dude, Nirvana the issue with Nirvana was that everything sounded the same. Right? Nirvana has some very, very good songs. Don't get me wrong, but they're not an A-tier band in my opinion.
I think that their catalog is way more appreciated now, but I think also probably the best thing that they put out for me personally. A lot of people aren't going to like this. I like the Unplug album better.
Very good
than all their albums. And I like there's actually a song that came out on the best of, which a lot of people frown upon this, called You Know You're Right. I actually think that's their best song and not Teen Spirit. But again, I'm just an old guy in my basement, right? Hunkered down, waiting for the apocalypse to come, putting my urine in jars, sterilizing it so I can drink it later just in case I need to if I run out of fresh water. Why would you listen to a guy like me when it comes to music? I'll tell you why. Because you can't take me in a fair fight. Now,
well, and you know a lot about music, right? And even it's some aspect of the history of music.
Well, it's funny, dude, because I have a friend I used to work with in the CD store, and this guy knows more about music than anyone I've ever met. I'm telling you, all the way down to like, no, it was released on the White Album and a B-side in Japan. Paul McCartney recorded it right after he came out the bathroom, dude.
That's weird, but Match to You, in my opinion, is my friend Joe. Joe knows a lot.
I like
a lot about music, man. Super about music, man.
I feel like we vibrated on the same wavelength, and I was like, "That guy's cool." I enjoyed that conversation, and we only said 3 words to each other. I think it was like grouch. I'm like slug. He's like, "I like slug." I'm like, "Have a good night." So I got some questions, not formal. I'm gonna break it down a little bit, get into your psyche.
I like
need you to take
non-formal questions.
I need you to take a deep breath because I'm gonna take it back to my counselor days. We're gonna do some open-ended, then we'll do some closed questions. I'll probably have you repeat yourself a few times to see if I can find any inconsistencies in there.
Go ahead.
But first, we're gonna start with the pros. Always the easiest thing to get out of the way when it comes to opinion on anything, right?
Sure.
What are the pros in the game? What does it do well?
Oh man. I thought the gunplay was pretty good.
Okay.
Which is important in a shooter, right? I thought the pacing was very good.
Now, what do you mean by pacing for the uninitiated?
So how the flow of the map feels, right? So like, how people are coming in and out, like which direction we're flowing, how fast everyone is moving, right? The issue with if you see a lot of Modern Warfare, you very specifically see people holding strategic positions and waiting for people to come to them. And that's called camping, right? And that's not a play style that I enjoy or even enjoy playing against. So I thought the flow was very good. I thought the way that people moved around the map was pretty good. The map's pretty good, right? And yeah, that's probably about it. Oh, the gunsmith is way better than Modern Warfare's. Let's be fair. The gunsmith is way better because like when you put an attachment on, it's like it's 15% vertical recoil, right? And it tells you exactly what it is instead of like the little arbitrary bars that move up and down when you put attachments on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean those are the two most important things in a shooter, right? Gunplay and pacing. Those are the two most important. And I thought they were pretty good.
Just pretty good, or they nailed it?
No, pretty good. Pretty good. They didn't nail it. They did not nail it.
So pretty good being on the 10, being nailed it, perfect. 1 being so far off the mark, you're not even on the map. Where would you say they
6.5, 7?
All right, 7's not bad. 7
pretty good.
A second.
Right, yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, so now that we got that out the way, is there anything you want to quantify and qualify before we start getting into the negatives? Like, is there any intangible factor of the game where you're like, you know what? I want to give it credit here, even though I don't think I should give it credit. Anything on the table for that?
They made each, like, at least one gun in each category feel viable, which is kind of hard to do in a game with so many guns, right? So there were a few assault rifles that were very good. The MP5 and the AK-74U were very, very good. The first LMG, the Stoner, I think is what it was, the Stoner 63. It felt pretty good. The snipers were very, very strong. I got a few pistol kills. The pistols felt pretty good. They made the guns feel very good, and that's like an intangible thing unless you've played every single one of the Call of Duties. It felt good. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, so before we unleash the dragon officially, you know what I realized we didn't do at the onset of this? Either that or I completely blanked out and now my old age is starting to get to me. You didn't introduce the show, bro.
I did.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, Zach, I need to get some Ginkgo biloba.
A hard word. Yeah.
I need to get something to improve the brain waves. The other day I stood up after we'd finished one of these and I forgot
where you were.
Yeah. I stood around. I'm like, what's happening right now? What was I? Who are all these people?
Yeah. Yeah, man. So let's do a little bit of help here, right? SBMM, skill-based matchmaking, right? I'm gonna give you some definitions here, right? So skill-based matchmaking is when they prioritize getting players who are of similar skill set into lobbies instead of it being the best connection or the best area for the region, right? Skill-based matchmaking. Maps is when you load into a game and you're on a map. That's a map, right? I'm just for people who potentially are uninitiated, right? Perks are modifiers you can add to your class in Call of Duty that do certain things. Tac Mask, for example, and I'll explain them when I talk about them. Tac Mask, for example, allows you to recover from stuns faster, right? Stun grenades are, little grenades that you throw that fucking blind you or stuns you, right? I don't think anything else of like things that I'm gonna say that that people potentially would not understand if I didn't do this section. You would know better than I.
Trying to think. No, because unless you're like in the gameplay and you hear people doing the weird call outs like you guys do when you start sounding like the auctioneers, that would be something that I would have to record and break it down and kind of superimpose myself in the video. Is like what Zach's saying here is that he's going right. Please make sure you cover him as he goes right.
No,
but we don't need to get
yeah, we didn't even start getting, we didn't even get enough call outs. So there's a few different game modes that you could have played. Obviously, my favorite game mode in any Call of Duty is Hardpoint. Basically, it's a hold an area. And it's 5 different locations, and it spawns in one, and then it goes to another after so many amount of time. Love Hardpoint. We've got to play Hardpoint. I always have a good time playing Hardpoint. Team Deathmatch, which is the first team to 100 kills. No Search and Destroy. We didn't play. There's a few other ancillary game modes that were just awful that I would never recommend playing. VIP Escort is stupid.
Yeah, I saw Doc playing that.
Stupid, just bad, especially if you play with randoms, because the fucking guy in the VIP Escort always goes off and dies by himself. Yeah, all right. If you hear me say a term and you don't know what it means, and Steve doesn't correct me, leave it in the comments, leave it in the live chat, fucking tweet at me, and I'll give you a better explanation.
Are you ready now?
You think I needed to preface anything else before we get into this?
I'm just trying to get you de-escalated, get you to the right place.
I'm not angry about it. I've come to terms with what this game is.
All right. So now let's talk about what does it do wrong? What's wrong with the game?
So let's start out with graphics versus Modern Warfare. It's a step backwards.
Okay.
Animations from Modern Warfare. I don't like Modern Warfare at all, to be fair. It's a step backwards from Modern Warfare. The animations are slow and clunky. When you throw a grenade, it's like you hit the grenade button, and it's like, okay, gotta find my fucking grenade, put the gun away. Oh, got the grenade. Then you throw, right? It's like a full 2 seconds that you're looking for grabbing and then throwing your grenade, which I thought was a little bit too long in a game that is as fast paced as Call of Duty in general is. Man, I didn't think the maps could get worse from Modern Warfare, and Black Ops really has taken the cake on this one. The maps, at least that we got to play, were not very good. Let me just be nice about this. They're not very good. What I look for in maps in Call of Duty is for them to be memorable, right? Like when I'm done playing Modern Warfare, the original Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, I think of Block, I think of Backlot, Vacant, Crash, like so many maps, Wet Work, the one with the pipeline, I can't think of the name of it, Overgrown, right? I can name most of the maps in a Call of Duty that I didn't play when it was new, because the maps are memorable, because the maps are so good, right?
Right.
This game, along the same lines of Modern Warfare, will never have a memorable map, just because how bad they were. Obviously, I remember the names of them because they're cities. Miami, Moscow, right? Both terrible, terrible maps. Cartel would be a good map if they didn't have bushes throughout the entire center of it that people could just run through and be invisible. Yeah, fundamentally, the game is very solid in my opinion. But everything that goes into, like, obviously you can have good core mechanics, right? Counter-Strike has fantastic core mechanics, but they also have the maps and the game modes and the player base to back it up. And unfortunately, this Call of Duty is just not going to have that, in my opinion.
So, all right, keeping it like in perspective, it is a beta. And I know you have a very, not strict, that is not the word I want to use, but you have a very clear understanding of what a beta is. You've told me multiple times, most times the beta is the game that you're actually going to get. They're just going to make a few tweaks in between.
There's too much to change.
Really? That much?
Yeah, you have to change, man. You have to speed up animations. You have to change gun balancing, in my opinion, because, you know, at some point there will be a meta in that, and I just don't like metas in shooters. I don't want to only have to, like in Tarkov, for example, the best gun in the game is the HK, right? The HK 416 with M855A1 ammo, with an RKO1 scope and a PKO 6 red dot sight, right? And whatever the fucking the upper and the lower and all this other stuff is, but there's a clear gun and way to build that gun that is the best, right? In that game, the XM4 with a grip, a stock, a red dot, and like a thing to speed up how slow your reload is the best gun in that game, right? I don't know if it's the XM4 is the best one of what it is. AK is very good. there will be a meta, and I just don't think that's fair to spend a $60 on a game to play with one thing. They would have to just scrap the maps that they have already. Like Miami, you would have to get rid of Miami. That is the single worst map that I've ever played. It is. I would rather play Azir Caves on Modern Warfare. With how bad that map is, I would rather play that than Miami. Moscow is maybe the best map, and that is like a C tier map compared to like, I don't know, pick a game. Black Ops 2, right? Raid was not the best map in the game, but if you put that map in any other game, it would be the best map in that game, right? And that's what I think is an A tier or an S tier map. And the best map in this game was a C tier map. Was like, if you put it in Modern Warfare, it's still not a good map, right? And that game has really bad maps.
Really quick, can I interject for a second?
Sure.
What makes something not a good map? Like, just from myself, any uninitiated.
Sure. So traditionally, Call of Duty maps are very, very similar if you look at them from a design standpoint. There's 3 lanes, left, center, right. 3 lanes, little bit of verticality, and then stuff mixed in to like hide behind or fight around or given maybe an objective point or something, right? These maps are just like, you draw like an arbitrary fucking freehand shape and then just fill in the stuff with clutter. There's no clear flow to the maps. I know it's contradictory to what I said before. This is gameplay versus the map design. There's no clear flow. I couldn't predict, like in like, again, Black Ops 2 is a very good example. You play slums on Black Ops 2. I know, and not just me, right? Everyone knows where the other person spawns, what route they're most likely going to run to, and if they don't run A route, they're going to run B route, right? Where these, it's like, dude, I could run 15 different routes to get to the same position, and it's just too much. It's just too cluttered. It's too open in some aspects. Like, the center of a lot of these maps is just an open field, essentially, right? Miami is just like literally like an intersection in Miami that's just open. Cartel is just like literally it's a drug lord's compound in like Nicaragua or something, right? But the center of it is just a little hilled area with bushes. Moscow, the center of Moscow is just like the inside of like almost like not even like a shopping mall, but it looks like escalator comes down on one side. It's just open in the middle, and it's just really, really poor level design, in my opinion.
So next question, the skill-based matchmaking, right? So you've explained ad nauseum why that sucks. You would have thought they would have made an adjustment, make it a little different. Obviously, they're sticking to their guns.
Sorry, go ahead.
They're sticking to their guns. No, they're sticking to their guns in this one. You said the guns were balanced, right? Were there any overpowered guns that you were just like, all right, so this doesn't need to be in the game. This isn't even enjoyable. Like, why?
The snipers were very strong, but no, I didn't like specifically play with one gun the entire time, which I thought it was the best, right? I played with the XM4 early on, then I switched to the MP5, and then AK-74U, and then just an AK-74. I played with the M16 for a bit. Like, I was all over the place with guns. And usually, like, if you pull up my Modern Warfare 2, like you load my Modern Warfare 2 profile, I think I have like 4 classes with the ACR, 3 classes with the UMP, and then a sniper and a FAMAS class or something. Like, out of the 10 classes I have, like 2 guns or 7 classes essentially. And that's when guns are like considered overpowered, right? Where it's like, I would rather use the UMP than any other gun in the game because it's a 3-shot with a silencer at any range. And it is. Where this game, it felt like, first of all, the guns don't feel consistent whatsoever. I feel like if I shoot you 4 times, like in game A, it does different damage in game B, right? So that felt really weird, but it was a little bit to get used to. You just have to, I always get in a bad habit to do this thing where it's like, okay, I know how many shots it takes to kill someone. So it's like, oh, I hit this guy 6 times and I reload and run the other way. But you do that in this game and it's like, wait, so I hit him 6, but this is a 7-time game. So you just got to keep shooting until everyone's dead.
Don't stop.
Right. Don't stop. And when they're dead, just keep shooting. Yeah. There's a lot fundamentally very good with the game and a lot fundamentally very flawed. So into skill-based matchmaking, right? Skill-based matchmaking is good. I say that it is good. It's very good in a ranked game mode, right? Where Steve is ranked A and I'm ranked C, and it's just going to take me time, or maybe I'm capped at C. Maybe C is where I is as far as I could go, right? But over time you could grow that and grow up in rank, and I go C, and then I'm in B tier, and then I'm in A, and now I'm playing against Steve, right? That's good. That's great. I loved ranked game modes. They're fantastic because I could choose not to play them, right? Where in how heavy the skill-based matchmaking is in this, it does not prioritize ping whatsoever, right? And ping for the uninitiated is your connection to the game, how quick you can communicate with the server. It's packet in and out. This literally, we played 3 games. Me and Arcs were both very good players, right? Both top of the leaderboard, 3-4 games in a row, whatever it was. And then we get into a lobby where it's the guy, they're not even speaking English anymore, right? They're Russian. They're I think one group we played against might have been some sort of Japanese or Korean. You could tell by the way that they're literally not speaking English, right?
Right.
And it becomes very hard because A, they're good players, and B, we're playing on a connection that's so bad that it's actually very hard to play on. But because we're in the same skill bracket according to what Black Ops thinks it should be, now we're playing against each other. And that's really, really, really poor. I'm fine with a little bit of skill-based matchmaking, so I can't, pub stomp, right? Where I go in and just ruin lobbies, like what we did in Black Ops 4. It's good that I can't do that every game, right? And I can appreciate that. But there was a game that we played. It was me, Shane, Thomas, and Reggie, right? And we're all, again, fairly good players, right? And I'm like 4-15 in this game. 4 kills, 15 deaths, which I don't think happened all of Black Ops 4. I don't think I ever went negative in that game. But because I'm running to the hard point and jumping on the hard point. And I had 200 seconds on the hard point or something, and the win is 250, right? And we're all jumping on the hard point, and I'm pulling out trophy systems. Trophy systems are blocks grenades from coming in, right? To blow up a grenade, and I'm throwing trophy systems down, and I'm like, dude, it becomes like I'm legitimately on a main stage playing for a championship, and that's the level of commitment that you have to have going into just regular public matches. So the thing about skill-based matchmaking, again, it's fine if it's occasional. If you get a group of 4 or 5 very good players together, they should probably be matched up against a group of 4 or 5 pretty good, very good players, right in that range, right? But we can't play together, right? Me and you can't play together because you're then going up to the skill level of the people that I'm usually playing against as a novice, right? As someone who's played Call of Duty for 5 hours collectively of a lifetime, right? We can't play together anymore. Essentially, I would have to, buy a second copy of the game and log into a different account that I had a Smurf account or something, right? And that's where skill-based matchmaking loses me a lot. I don't mind the occasional game where I have to try. It's a lot of fun, actually. Some of the times I enjoy myself, but it was 3 games of essentially pub stomping, if you can consider that in a beta. And then literally the rest of the time was just having to try as hard as I possibly can to like win games. And it becomes annoying. I don't want to pub stomp 100% of the time, but like I also don't want to try 100% of the time.
But so what's broken about the game, right? And I know this is a hard thing. So it's subjective, but based on your experience, and you have a lot of experience to speak to this, you've been a long time fan of the game, so I can trust you. What's broken about the game?
Because broken? That's
going to lead to a deeper question, but go ahead.
I don't know if anything is fundamentally broken with the game, right? I don't, matchmaking was a little bit slow, whatever. The grenades throwing for a long time, that's annoying, but I guess you just get used to it. You reload like you've never reloaded a gun before. That's an issue. It's very long in between reloads, very, very long it feels. I don't know if there's anything broken about it, but it's not a fun, enjoyable experience.
Yeah, it's funny because I asked Thomas what his experience was like. He's like, the game is not fun at all. He's like, and those were his exact words. What was Shane? What experience did Shane have?
I don't know.
No,
It definitely, it wasn't great, right? In my opinion, I didn't ask him directly afterwards. I'm like, hey, well, what the fuck you think about that there, bud? I didn't do that, but after I got off, I'm like, well, this is probably a skip year, so good luck. And everyone's like, well, maybe for zombies. And I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna pay $60 for zombies. Like,
oh, so you're not gonna buy it at all, man?
I'm not buying the game, not at all.
Wait, is this a hard not buying it, or you're gonna have a lapse in a moment?
I'll buy
of
if it
drinking
goes on like sale for $30. Or okay, to be fair, or if the zombies experience is worth the $60, right? If they did do traditional zombies, which they haven't done in years, and did the actual good zombies, I would buy it for zombies. But I will not buy it for multiplayer.
So the reason I asked the question about what was broken about the game, so this is something that I feel as if though it's important to ask because we speculated a lot before it came out. I asked the exact same question about Modern Warfare, but you've been a fan for a long time. There are things that are clearly have made you unhappy and thought this game is not enjoyable. At this point, when is enough, and do you say, hey, you know what, I'm tapping out, this is clearly the direction that the company's going in, or do you just keep holding on, hoping for a better version of the game?
Man, this is hard, right? I don't know if I keep holding on per se,
Right.
but I definitely give each one a chance.
Okay.
For example, right, if people are gonna like question me on whether or not I gave this game a fair chance, I hit max level in the beta, right? I was level 40, as high as you can get. Wasn't hard to do, I agree. I almost maxed two different separate guns. I used essentially every kill streak. Like, I did everything in the beta that you were meant to do in the beta, and it wasn't it. It's just not it. This game is just not it. Now, I will eat a shoe on this podcast if it comes out with a ranked game mode and a non-skill based matchmake, ping based casual multiplayer gameplay. Right, I will do that. That's fine. If I can go into a regular casual game, or I can go into a ranked game like say Counter-Strike has, then I'm on a different story, right? Because that's fixes most of the issues that I have. But yeah, this isn't it. The way that it sits currently, it's the skill-based matchmaking is tuned very, very heavily. I don't even know what they base it off of anymore. I saw that Activision had patented or trademarked a way of doing skill-based matchmaking that includes something along the way of the way that you move around the map, or how fast you move around the map, and potentially even if you spent money on the game, you'll get easier lobbies for X amount of time afterwards. And you would even get catered towards people who hadn't purchased the stuff. So then if I kill you with a cool camo, you're like, fuck, I want to buy that. So that's based in the skill-based matchmaking, which isn't skill-based, which is bullshit. So yeah, there's a number of factors in the game that even if that is true alone, that's enough. That's enough for me. And what it legitimately needs, truly legitimately what it needs, is a ranked game mode along with a casual game mode.
But not enough for you to say, hey, this is it. Like, you burn, like, so I can tell you honestly, there was a point where I remember where I was like, all right, I'm done with Street Fighter. Then I got to a place where I was like, I'm done with Tekken. I'm definitely done with Tekken. When Eddie became like the most buffed character and a casual person could get on and beat me with Eddie, and I'm not saying you can't beat me, but I'm saying if you can beat me and I can't stop you from beating me with the same sequence of combos, even when I'm blocking and doing for a counter, there's something wrong with the game. Or me, I don't know. Is it enough where you're finally like, yeah, forget a gap year? You guys are going to have to earn back my money. You're going to have to earn back
money. Yeah, well, for sure they have to earn back my money, right? Because I'm not going to spend it on this garbage. Again, unless all the things that I listed earlier. I'll play the betas of all of them, right? And I'll form an opinion on all of them. And I'll get excited for all of them. It's just how it works, right? It's just, when you play thousands of hours of a game, like, you always want it to be good, right? You always want it to go back to what it was, but it won't go back to what it was. And they're really, truly catering to casuals, and that's what they're doing. And yeah, I don't know. And Treyarch makes the better Call of Duties too. They do.
So put on your commentator hat for a second, right? So, You're gonna have to answer a question that you're not gonna be able to answer, but I just like you to put some thought into it. Why do you think there's so many people that are enjoying a game? Like there has to be some type of disconnect there. I know it's opinion based, right? You know, very
I would
subjective.
assume that those are the people who the skill-based matchmaking helps, right? That's what I would have to assume, because there's no way, even all the pros are talking about it. Like, dude, I can't go in and play a casual game. Those guys pub stomp even when they're not trying, to be fair, right? Because they're pros. It's like, I can't go in and have a casual game. I have to go in and legitimately play like I'm playing for money every single time. That's just, that at some point is not a fun experience, in my opinion, right? But the people who aren't good, the people who were 0.5 kill to death ratio players, those guys are now playing better because they're playing against other people who are that bad, instead of running into me. Right. And,
right.
You know, like, I'm sure that I've made people uninstall various Call of Duty, right? Like, I'm a fairly good player, but, and it's not even always about just wanting to go in and be the best player in every lobby, because I did it even when the games were fucking hard. It's just that I don't want to have to, you know, like, if I wanted to go play for money, I'd go play for money, you know, like, it's ultimately what it is, right? I would join a ladder and do matches and like try to be a pro if I wanted to do that. I don't. I want to play the game fairly casually. I want to play, you know, some games I want to destroy people. Some games I want to have a hard game, right? And every once in a while, but I don't want every game after like the first 3 games that I play in a session, because then it becomes tiring, and I don't want that.
Yeah, it's funny because as I scour the internet like I usually do, like the bottom feeder that I am, I keep looking for the negative opinion. I've encountered some stuff. I usually work my way down from Doc, right? So I go from like someone I know, then I go check out what Scump says. Not that Scump is below Doc, but as in regards to how my mind works, and then I keep going. Then I keep going. I go lower and lower.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've been going lower and lower, looking for the opinion on the game, the general consensus is that I'm having a lot of fun. And I wonder if that's just a nostalgia and it hasn't worn off yet, or if maybe it is what you're saying. It's the people who benefit from the skill base. Did you have fun at all, bud? Did you have
There were
any
some
fun?
games that were fun, but it's hard. It was hard to have fun, right? Like, after the first 30 minutes of me and Arcs playing, we're like, oh, okay, this is not bad. And then the next game where we're playing against the Russian guys, and it's like, oh, well, those guys know how to slide cancel, and they know which guns with which attachments are the best. Like, we were legitimately level, let's say 15 or something, and everyone else in the lobby was already a max level player. So it's like, okay, we got placed in, I don't even fucking know, right? Like this isn't fair.
Yeah,
and
that doesn't sound fun at all.
Right, it becomes very hard. Again, we're very good players and we win most of those games, right? But it's like, okay, but I don't want to pay attention unless it's a reason to pay attention. And I also don't want it to always, you know, have to pay attention to it. It's just not, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm getting old. I don't know.
Welcome. This is what it feels like.
Maybe I'm growing out of Call of Duty. Dude, I don't even know how many times I said during the middle of it, I'm like, oh, I guess I'm just washed. I guess I'm just no good at this game anymore. As some fucking 15-year-old on Adderall is beaming me from across the fucking map. Exactly, dude. He's like, I'm playing in the CDL next year, boys. And I'm like, dude, chill the fuck out. Like, if I wanted to do this, we're doing it, but
you know what the crazier part about it is, man, it's funny when you start to grow out of something, right? Because you keep trying to put it back on and it just won't fit the way that
dude,
it
I don't even know
fit.
if I grew out of it or if it just went right and I went left in my opinion of games. Like, I don't even, if I think back 5 years, I don't think I would have liked this game then. Right? Like, what game was out 5 years ago? Ghost? I didn't like Ghost either, but it wasn't because of skill-based matchmaking. It was because the maps were bad.
You know what? This hasn't been as bipolar as you thought it would be, right? So if I'm coming from a clinical standpoint, which, to be clear,
do you want me to really do it? I think the way that the game plays, and I think the gunplay is incredible. If you really want to know my opinion, I think when I'm in a 1v1 fight, like, I feel like I can do some shit to outplay somebody, right? And it's not just insta die. Right. And I think that aspect of the game is incredible. I think the way that how many bullets people take to kill is incredible. I think the way that the guns felt like they handled it was incredible. And then you fucking have to, the over glaring other garbage of the game is just like, and I'm gone. You know, the core fundamental of the game itself, I thought was very good. I really thought the core, like, in a shooter, right, in a sandbox, like, you can put us in a fucking You can put us in a square map with no textures, and the gunplay alone is what you have to play it off of. That's a fun experience, in my opinion. But you throw in the bad maps and the weird perks and the when you get hit with a stun grenade, it's like fucking like someone came up behind you in real life and cranked your neck real hard, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? Right? And like when you throw a grenade and it takes like, you're like, okay. Okay, there it is. Okay, there we go. And then it still has the 4 or 5 second explosion time on top of that. And you're like, okay, the guys died and respawned on the other side of the map from where I threw the grenade.
Yeah, I that was the first thing that Doc complained about was the grenades, and I just thought he was being dramatic as he usually is. No. And he was like, "What the hell's happening?"
All of the animations need like to be sped up by 25%, in my opinion.
Well, that could be worked out with a quick patch, right? Some of that stuff can be worked out with.
It could be, but it won't be, right? Here's the issue, right?
There we go. This is what I was waiting for. Give it
to
us.
When the game is made. First of all, this game, and I give Treyarch a lot of credit, right? This game was supposed to come out next year. Sledgehammer and Raven or whatever were working on a separate game. They couldn't make the time constraint, so Activision's like, Treyarch, you're bumped up, right? And so Treyarch got thrown up a year. They have 2/3 of their time that they had expected to have allotted to them for the game, right? So I understand some things were rushed, right? I assume that's why the graphics are like a 30% decrease from Modern Warfare, in my opinion. Man, it just won't, right? It's just one of those things where it's like how long a grenade takes to throw is way more like instrumental to the way a game works than you would think, right? Like that's how you slow pace of play. If the grenades were like instant throws, like all right, and gone, right? Like the game would play way too fast. Like you couldn't think how fast the game was playing. So like, okay, so everyone's moving quickly. The guns kill pretty quickly, and the maps are small, and you're gonna get to engagements really quickly. So grenades need to be slowing down. Oh, I didn't even mention the fact that you unlock these wild cards that you can put on your class, which allow like Danger Close, for example, which is a perk from Modern Warfare 2, which I don't know why they reuse names like that, but Danger Close allows you to have 2 grenades and 2 tacticals. So I can have 2 grenades and 2 flashes. So now when I die and respawn, I have 4 things to throw now. So you can imagine everywhere you stand, there's just grenades. There's just grenades fucking everywhere, dude. You're playing Hardpoint and you don't use a trophy system. It's like 3 people are running at you. That's 6 grenades, and 6 tacticals. You have to essentially withstand 12 consumables being thrown on you. It's brutal, and it just wasn't like fun, right? It just wasn't a fun experience.
Now, would it be any more fun with a couple of drinks in you?
No, it would be worse. I play Call of Duty stone sober, like just stock, because I can't, dude. I can't focus. Games like WoW are fun when you're a little bit drunk. Games like golf with your friends are fun when you're drunk. Like, not Call something. No, I can't do God. I can't do
a day at the office for you. You're like, no, sobering up. Gotta get ready.
Put my suit and tie on, and
let's get this going. Yeah. So you play with RX, you play with the other guys, man. Got into some lobbies. Got into some lobbies, made some new Russian friends, possibly some Korean or Japanese friends.
Yeah, I look at the letters and stuff. I can't tell which language it is, and that's it's a fucking ignorance on my end, but no, I couldn't tell because their names were literally not in English.
So, but here's the thing, man. I'm trying to pull out. But we've talked about the redeemable stuff, and I don't want this to be a short episode. But the fact of the matter is, bud, it's been a long build to this, and I wanted this to work for you. So, is there anything like you pretend I'm Treyarch right now, right?
Mm-hmm. And we're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Skill-based matchmaking is ranked only. That's the biggest thing, right? 25x or 0.25x multiplier. No, sorry, 1.25x multiplier on all of your fucking animations. Minus vaulting. Vaulting felt pretty good. Like actually vaulting was broken. If you wanted to know, like there was a ledge that was clearly taller than I was, and I just went boop and just like jumped up it. I'm like, no like animation or anything. It was like, okay, all right, I can jump 15 feet in the air. Got it. So there's some stupid shit like that. You got to redesign your maps, right? Like, this is the company that brought us Standoff, which I think maybe is the single best Call of Duty map ever made. Standoff was an incredible map.
What was great about it?
Was the flow of it, right? So it was not even a traditional 3-lane map, but it was, right? 2 lanes on the side that did a little bit of a zigzag. And then the middle was there was an overlook on one side, there was an overlook behind you, and it zigzagged through the middle of the map. And like there was a lot of different places to fight and outplay and places to be and power positions. It was just so much. But also I didn't have to check 17 windows or try to look through 14 different bushes, right? It was clean. I wish I could show you Standoff. It was such a good map, and I could explain to you why I could break it down if it was like physically in front of me. It was just played really well, right? Like you knew where people were going to be, they knew where you were going to be, so it makes for interesting fights. Where this game is like, oh well, I'm going to run around this corner and hope there's not 3 there.
Here's the thing though about that, right? I thought maybe I have nothing to gauge on. First time I played COD with you guys, I was like, this is the way it's supposed to be, right? It looks like madness, people just running around fighting for their lives, and
so that's the way Call of Duty plays, but it should be predictable madness and not chaos.
Okay.
Right. There's a difference between predictable and chaos, because like the Modern Warfare maps, for example, like some of them could be very good if you just drew a fucking line and cut the map in half. And we're like, okay, you spawn here, you spawn there, and this is the area that you fight over, right? Literally, there's the one, I don't know what the bridge name, the bridge map, it's very big. It's actually maybe one of the better maps in Modern Warfare. It's literally based off of the outside of a map from Modern Warfare 2 called Invasion, which, again, traditional 3-lane map, was the most 3-lane map of any 3-lane map, and they fucking ruined it. And I'm like, you sons of bitches. I can't even go play Invasion now, I'll get angry.
It is. You're outgrowing it, but they're the obvious quirks and the failings of the games and the deficits. I won't take that away from you. You're able to articulate that, and I believe you because I know that you're not the type of person to embellish things. But as I'm listening to you, I realize now you're outgrowing it, man. Welcome to my side of the table, man. There are going to be so many other things in life that just like, man, this was so good the last time. Fuck. You just walk away.
Oh, man. I'm gonna buy you like Black Ops 2 or something, and then just walk you through the maps and why they're so good. That would be an interesting video series, actually, of where the map design really has lost itself.
What is that? Black Ops 2 was on PS3, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I have it on the mod.
No, you don't.
The modster.
No, you don't.
No, I don't have that one.
Black Ops 1, maybe.
I would be down for that, man. I think that for me personally, like I was gonna play some of the beta, but obviously I don't have the type. I don't have that type of time. I came downstairs, I started falling asleep. I'm like, this is gonna be fun for anyone. I saw you guys were in the Discord, and like
I was waiting for you to come on, actually.
Yeah, I literally look. So I gotta take you through it. I sat down in this chair. I was like, all right, I'm ready to play. Had a sip of coffee. I was like, this shit's not happening. I'm freaking tired.
Okay,
I'm being dragged on the game. But I mean, I don't want to put this on your shoulders. You can't argue with the entire internet. But I know that there are fair weather fans out there who they're the exact opposite of what you were accused of on Twitter, right? They love everything until someone they like says that it's not good. And then they jump off the bandwagon and then the game will die after that. For me personally, not a huge COD fan, but I would tell you what my deal breaker would be. 3 in a row. If I have to buy the product and you haven't bought 3 in a row,
I was just doing already though. If you think about it, Ghost, Advanced Warfare, Infinite Warfare, 3 terrible games. Terrible.
You're done. It's time to start playing Rainbow Six Siege more seriously.
I've never played it seriously. But then it brings you back with like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, World War 2, right? And then they do 3 really good games in a row where like, wow, okay, not traditional Call of Duties, but very good Call of Duties, right? And then it's like Modern Warfare, which, to be fair, was almost a soft reboot of the entire series, where they took a more realistic and more like a differential like path from what it was on previously to that. And then they're like, oh, Treyarch, we're going back to the original. And it's like, no, man, this is like Modern Warfare 0.5. Like, I don't think it's a worse game, but like there are aspects of it that are huge and major step backs that are almost like you can't look past it, right? Your game, the game that's coming out after, like if you come out a game every year, that game better look better every year, in my opinion, right? There's no way you step back in graphics. And Modern Warfare to Black Ops is a step back in graphics. If you look at it, animations wise, right? The way that you reload your gun, the way that your gun moves when you do it, the way you aim down sight, step backwards from Modern Warfare.
That's insane. That's it does not make. I mean, it
does make
sense.
It does. No, it doesn't make sense.
In the world of video games, I can see how that like something like that could happen. They got rushed. Remember, the creatives aren't in front of their deadlines. Some exec came in there with coke hanging off his nose. And he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna need it by Thursday." And it's like, "Whoa, that's tomorrow." Like, yeah, get it out by Thursday. Here's the next question I have. Quite possibly, what might be the last question in regards to our friendship. Could it just be you?
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
Could it be you?
I could be getting older, right? I could be fucking growing out of it. But the people that I play with share the same opinion, right?
So it's not just you. It can't be. If 2 or more people agree that they see an elephant, then the elephant is most likely there. And those
well, I mean, both people could be on heroin. So I guess the elephant could actually be there in their minds.
One of our viewers is playing the game right now. Shout out to El Gucci Man. He was one of our latest Discord joins, and I'm gonna see if the way I envision this, right? You and I are gonna talk about this in our personal time more and more, right? Mm-hmm. And then Friday when we do the next show, I'm actually gonna get some of the opinions of the fans, some of our fans and the other people of the game, and I'll just read it off to you. And we can kind of do that skit that they do on the late night show where you just lean back and ridicule their opinions. If you're into
it, I'll do that for sure. But I mean, dude, I'm one person, right? Like, to be fair, I've probably played the game more than they have, right? If I played it at a higher level than they did, I'm probably a better player, even as washed as I am at the moment, right? Like, probably. I'm not saying I am. I'm saying there's a decent possibility that I am. And sure, their opinions matter, but they don't matter to me. Right? That's the issue. Their opinions are not going to change my opinions, right? It's like when you're a professional driver, you know how to drive a fucking car, right? Yeah. And like you get in a car and you're like, well, I don't like the balancing. They're like, but what's wrong with it? They're like, no, I just don't like it. Right? And you're like, oh, well, okay then. Lewis Hamilton, you don't like our fucking balancing in the new McLaren, right? It's like, well, I guess there's probably some legitimacy there.
Yeah, but that's not just indicative to like car driving, because that was actually a really good analogy you just used. It's the same thing.
Golf clubs, baseball bats, baseball gloves, gis for fucking jits. I'm sure there's a different gi. Like, it just doesn't fit right, and I don't think I can move as well. And that guy's gonna get this lapel and choke me the fuck out. And I don't like that either. So get me a t-shirt.
Can I tell you one thing I hate about gis? I know I'm opening myself up to be made fun of here.
Yeah.
I don't like the way they feel against my nails when I try to do it like a collar choke.
They're like almost. They're not like clothing texture, you know. Yeah. They're like a little too stiff, right? They're too starchy.
Dude, as I'm doing that and I'm feeling me not being as masculine as I could be, I try not to give it up and I keep a poker face.
It's like people who don't like cotton balls.
I hate cotton balls.
There you go. Maybe there's something to it.
I hate cotton balls. It's the crazy thing about it is someone else I was talking to about COD. They played on the keyboard. They were not feeling it. They weren't having a good time. And then I switched to my, the remote, played a few more games, and then I had a little bit more fun. So I think that might have been Diaz that told me that. But it sucks, man, because this was like this is. My vision for the game release was that you were going to just be in a place where you could be happy, right? That's all me and the fans want for you. We want you to be happy. A happy Zach makes for a happier America. That's what we need to talk about, man. But you didn't get that. So now I got to email Treyarch like, dear Treyarch, you don't know who I am, but you ruined. No, okay. How much more time do I have left in the beta? How much? It's closed today, right? It's ending today.
Yeah, it's essentially done, right? It's done if you want it. It's not even. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the fucking play. right? Well, if you were gonna join us and like the other night, I'm like, okay, we can come in here, but don't expect this to be good, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone I'm playing with is like, well, our opinions are waning and waxing and waning, and it's just, dude, it just becomes unfun and unacceptable at some point.
No, and again, one of our core principles here at Talking with a Dad is the consumer needs to stand up for themselves. Can I tell you what I was doing? Why I didn't join you guys on the other night, like when it actually dropped?
You don't have to make excuses to me.
I know, but I just feel like it's a good thing. It's a good thing to talk about. I was actually watching the fights on Saturday, and I know you were probably watching and playing the game.
Yep.
And got to see Ortega, a very intelligent Ortega show up. By the way.
I don't know who he hired as a striking coach, but I want him.
I think he went to the lab. I think he.
Oh, really? So he juiced. Got it.
Yeah. No, not that lab. The other lab. He went to the lab gym. But
sure,
if you need steroids, I can get them for you.
I could get them too.
Yeah, we should take steroids and be unathletic.
Right? Just sitting here angry at each other.
But I was watching that fight, and then of course I watched Loma versus Lopez, which will go down. We gotta talk about this. We gotta talk about the shrewdness just for a second here.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing is in. You know what? F it, dude. I'll fight all of you guys, man. I'm not the guy that says boxing is dead. I am the guy, however, who says PBC Top Fight, I believe, was the production that put on this or the management that put on this one. They needed to do that at the end and for free. And I said this on the show once. I was like, when they start doing free pay-per-view level cards for boxing,
was that
on
free?
ESPN, that was free.
Oh shit! I didn't have to go to some sketchy website to watch it.
Did you go to a sketchy website?
No, definitely not. I thought it was pay-per-view. I was like, I'm not buying this shit, but I'll watch it.
No. 100% free on ESPN and on ESPN Plus, but they did it perfectly. I mean, sure, the fighters losing out on gate and pay-per-view buys, but I'm sure they got
and money. Yeah. They actually didn't pay those guys at all.
At all. But they came in after a UFC fight. We're starting to see the roles reverse here. This isn't the first time
they
that
waited. Yeah. I don't care. I don't know. Boxing was fantastic. I don't care when they do it or when they don't. Coming in after a UFC event is fine. They came in way after the UFC event too. The UFC event was early, actually. By the way, prelim started at 4 p.m. and main card started at 7, where the main card usually starts at 10. Next week we're starting at 2 p.m. fucking main card. So I had to get up, dude. I had to get up super early. I won't text you then. Let's stay on the Call of Duty stuff, man.
Sorry. Force it.
Man, there are some things that they could change about this game prior to the game releasing that would make it better, right? The animations need to be faster. They need to do, I don't know what they could do to fix the visuals, but the visuals were bad. And I have a very nice PC, right? I run every game at as many frames as I want to. The game, dude, it looked like PS3 graphics almost, right? It looked bad. The matchmaking, man, I don't know what you do with the matchmaking, because the matchmaking is very clearly catered towards the bottom tier play. They want to bring everyone closer to 1, right? They want everyone to be like within that bell curve and no people really low or no people really high, right? That's very apparent to me, which is fine, I guess. I have no fucking idea. And they really have to do something about the maps. They really, really have to do something about the maps.
But is it something they can fix in one patch? I'm thinking it's going to take a couple to address.
No, they would have to remake the game. They'd have to remake the game because some of the stuff is so fundamentally built into the core of the game that they would have to scrap it and start over. Give them push the game back. Give them the extra year of development time. I don't know what the answer to this question is. They clearly want Warzone to make all their money anyway. They clearly don't care about multiplayer Call of Duty anymore, right? So they clearly want Warzone to make all their money, and that's what's going to happen anyway. So let this year be Warzone year and push the game back and give them development time, which is clearly needed.
I think a lot of the Warzone stuff, the Battle Royale versus the what is the term you use to describe the actual multiplayer. It lends itself to I know I'm 100% wrong, everything I'm about to say, but it appears to lend itself to a more stream friendly type of content, where people seem to enjoy jumping. True. I don't know why. Like, because I remember when Warzone came out, I was looking to see how many people were actually just streaming the multiplayer stuff.
None compared to Warzone.
Yeah.
0, right? Pros were playing multiplayer. Yeah, I mean, the issue was Battle Royale took off, right? You know, you go back and you start with the Arma 2 Battle Royale mod made by PlayerUnknown, and then you move into H1Z1 made by PlayerUnknown, and then you move into PUBG, which PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or it's the same fucking guy over and over again. And then you evolve into what Fortnite became, right? And BRs really truly took off into the stratosphere and was way more popular than every other game. So every game is like, well, we need a BR now, right? RuneScape added a BR in like 2016 called Last Man Standing. Forza has a battle royale called The Eliminator. Grand Theft Auto 5 has a battle royale, which I couldn't even name the name of because it was so inconsequential. And then you have Fortnite, which was a separate game, right? It wasn't a battle royale originally, right? And then it became a battle royale, right? H1Z1 was a very similar thing where it was like a survival game, and then it became the BR, right? So Call of Duty had to do that. Call of Duty had to. They're going to be left behind. Even fucking Battlefield has a battle royale at this point, right? And that market. And this is why, you know, you've heard me say before, I think the BR market is super saturated. And then, but you're like, wait, how? There's Warzone and there's Fortnite and maybe PUBG if you're really feeling froggy. But like,
and
no.
Apex.
Oh, and Apex. Sorry, I forget about Apex. Apex is the reason we don't have Titanfall 3, by the way. Right, they were developing Titanfall 3, and then they were like, actually, we're going to surprise release with a battle royale set in the Titanfall universe. Which, you know what, Apex is pretty good, but they didn't change enough off of where the start was for it to become an incredible game. Fortnite did that perfectly. I've never played the game. I've never played Fortnite, so I've watched it from the outside because it's interesting, right? And as a person who is interested in business and video games, to see them do what they do it's incredible. But every game coming out has a battle royale now. So that market is super, super saturated and it's outplayed. That's why I don't like Warzone, because I just don't like BRs anymore. And to me, peak H1Z1 is still the best battle royale to ever be made. Good skill gap, good guns, great map. You know, the movement around the map was good with the cars. You could jump out of the car. Yeah, I thought H1Z1 was good, and I don't know what patch was that did it, but bad.
I have the attention span of a squirrel, so I enjoy the battle royale. And yeah, I enjoy Apex because there's going to be more. I feel like there's more encounters. I don't have any statistics to base that off of.
Versus what? A multiplayer Call of Duty game?
Yeah, like no, not
dude.
Hold on. Not a multiplayer Call of Duty, Warzone specifically. I played Warzone by myself without you guys, and I probably ran around for a good 15 minutes before I actually got into some action. At one point, I thought something was wrong with my computer. I'm like, what's happening right now? That's why I did like the multiplayer in COD when we were playing together, because I was like, oh, at least it's fun running around. I'm getting killed every 3 seconds, but I'm having a good time getting killed because it's something happening right now.
Sure.
I don't like being caught in this situation. That's why I've played Fortnite exactly 6 times. I don't care if you judge me. I played it 6 times. I had a great time each time, drunk the entire time. But it
wasn't for me.
There was stuff happening, right? Like I would run across and like, oh, there's a guy.
Sure.
Get into a skirmish.
You're playing Warzone wrong.
I was playing Warzone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I was
when I play Warzone, I'm gonna drop in an area where people are. I'm gonna fight in an area where other people are. Right. I'm getting into engagements. Right. Yeah. Apex is very good at that because Apex. The issue with Apex is always bad, and you're gonna get third partied. Right. When you and I are fighting, someone else is around the corner looking at me ready to fight.
Yeah. I hate that about Apex. After I beat you and then I didn't even see that jack off running in the background. I'm like,
that happens all the time. Yeah, so you gotta do quick engagements. Yeah, I mean, Warzone is probably the best BR in the market right now, to be fair.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I
can't be bothered.
I just can't get into it. I'm sure I could if I knew the meta and stuff, but yeah, at this point, I'd rather play a game like Tarkov than Call of Duty, and it's the exact opposite end of the spectrum, right? You're looking at an arcade shooter versus pure tactical shooter.
But having its own issues, nonetheless, Tarkov is, right?
I said a patch today. I don't know what the patch fixed. A lot of it, apparently. I haven't played it
really?
Yet. Getting some pretty good reviews from a lot of people, so we'll see. We'll see. I have some money stocked up and some gear stocked up, so I'll play some runs soon. But not sure.
Bummed out a little bit about Call of Duty, man. You know, you want your friends to be happy. You don't want them to go home with the chick that's going to fleece them, take their wallet, and leave them without a kidney in Vegas. And I feel like that's what Call of Duty has done to you again, man. I think there could have been a defense that you could have built up for yourself against this, but you kept yourself pretty grounded You know, I'm gonna give it to you straight, man. You kept, you know, there were a few times you allowed yourself to feel happiness, and I had to smack you around, like, remember what you did to you last time, right? You remember?
If I want to feel happiness, I'll go level in WoW. I don't care.
So I am serious about playing WoW.
Okay.
I am very serious about playing WoW. Here's what I need from you, big guy, right? I need patience and understanding.
No, absolutely. Ask Shane. I taught Shane how to play.
I want a nice, relaxing environment, and then we can pick another game where we can scream at each other, because we need that in our friendship too, right? I've noticed if we don't scream at each other within a 4-week period, it turns toxic, and then it turns into, you know, a big scream.
We can go play the Division again, I guess.
Oh man, I love the Division, man. It's just a shame how much I love that game, dude. I'm sorry, man. I think it's. Is there anyone in the chat right now that's going to turn on me?
Probably.
Never mind. I'll keep my words to myself.
Who cares?
I was going to say something that was definitely going to get me banned from the internet.
Wait, Shane says it's true. I don't know what. I don't know what he's saying it's true to.
That's what I was trying to.
I don't know, man. Dude, man. Hey, we can ask Shane right now. Shane, quick, what was your opinion of the beta? Yay or nay for Call of Duty? While we wind down here.
On the record. Also, you can hold me to this, and I'm willing to be held to it. I obviously am into WoW, but I wanted to try to play, what's the other game?
Which one?
The one that really, really, really screws up your day.
League of Legends.
Yes.
Shane said it wasn't that good. And me and Shane are the same caliber of player, same credentials, same everything, right? Yeah. We can play League. I'll play League with you.
Tank. Come on. Oh, you got some really good responses to the Avengers pitch, by the way.
I heard. Yeah. It was listen, man. When I have an idea, I can flesh it out, right? But I don't know how to fucking actually spearhead. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm actually gonna call Kevin Feige after this. Me and him are gonna be boys.
Don't call him directly. The last guy who did that ended
died.
Up in the Fox universe. It's just like, we're gonna get you a movie. It'll be the last movie that company ever makes, but you're gonna be in it. And I
could be in a movie,
dude. Listen to me. Do you know we can get into the rumor mill before we close the show out? Ryan Reynolds, how much do you think the MCU is going to pay them for that third Deadpool movie?
$100 million.
Higher.
As a budget, or as like to get Ryan Reynolds to do a third one?
Him.
There's no fucking way he's worth more than $100 million to do a movie, dude. There's no way.
People are predicting that he's going to make more money than Robert Downey Jr. did.
Okay, hold on though. Is he getting back end points, or is he getting flat? Upfront's not the way to make money in movies, though. You're supposed to take 5 mil up front and take 5% back end. You know.
So this is all allegedly at this point, but everyone's saying that from what they hear, and even the major trades are starting to report on it. They want to push that movie out rated R as is, so bad that they're willing to match the Robert Downey Jr. contract. And I'm not talking about the first one. I'm talking about, like, you know, when this shit started to blow up. But fuck all that shit, right? Fuck Ryan Reynolds. He's not going to send me a check. I can't believe I just said fuck on that on the recording.
On national television.
I almost said that. Fuck COD too, man. You know what? Fuck everything.
I'm done with it, man. I'm done. I'm not buying it this year.
I'm buying it. You're gonna play with me.
No. You're not. You're not gonna get me to spend $60 on it, dude. There's so many other better things I could spend $60 on. I'll buy.
Name 3 things.
Name 3. Oh my god! A good steak, a good pack of beer, and $60 in gas to drive to your house and kick your ass after saying you're gonna get me to play Call of Duty. Because I don't have to make a few laps before I can figure it out.
Steaks and beers. This is happening right now. You can get a Jits membership for a year with $60 too.
You can't. $10 a month. Well, $10 a month is $120. It's $5 a month, dude.
I can introduce you to a guy that will train you for a year, and he's not like a scumbag guy.
For $60, dude.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Yeah, you just gotta go to his house. That's the
nope. Never mind. I'm out. Oh,
oh, you got anything else, bud?
Fuck.
Anything else?
You asked me about anything else. That was all I had. We're going to play World of Warcraft. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a good time. I'm actually going to record it, but I'm not going to record the audio so Zach can then put audio of how bad my gameplay was.
No, dude, no. Like, I'm learning how to play healer right now, right? Like, so I'm going into raids. I'm letting the tank die constantly. Because it's A, because it's funny, and B, because I suck at healing. So
any cutscenes in Wild? They're cutscenes,
Lots
right?
of them. Lots of cinematics. Yeah.
I'm gonna need to watch those. You guys can't talk over.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, Zach, I did the outro last week, buddy. Why don't you do it this week, man? It sounds so fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to Talking with the Dad, episode 67. Find us on all your favorite platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Quora, Dubizzle, LinkedIn, Linktree, Linkthee, Anchor, Spotify. Shout out audio listeners. Google Play Music, Apple Podcasts.
There's no more Google Play.
Fuck.
And all those other obscure podcasts.
Yeah.
On that we get emails about.
All Talking with a Dad. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good night. All right, we're back to the live stream here. You guys are gonna get cut out here pretty quick too. Oh, man, just not.
I'm still here. I just stopped myself.
I know. I watched you do it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to say after that. That was about as all as I got for COD, man. Done. Not buying it. Fuck it.
I'm gonna hashtag the hell out of it. I'm gonna make sure it goes. This episode goes to all the most toxic people.
You're literally the name of the episode is gonna be Call of Duty and why it sucks.
There it is.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Live stream is going to be over once I can figure out what mouse I'm using.